The S mode and the dynamic mode. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2018 Jaguar XF S Sportbrake / Jaguar XF Wagon. Really hard to say, but anyways, a huge shout out and thank you to the Jaguar here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Sportbrake. Check out the inventory link below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood we have a supercharged 3-liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 380 horsepower and then 332 pound-feet of torque. So let's go over the front end of the XF Sportbrake. So first off, I absolutely love the hood on this. So the middle part is raised and then it kind of slowly slopes down as you go to the side. And then we've got these full LED reflector lights with the LED accent lights. And then notice we've got parking sensors down here with a bunch of venting. You've got your S logo and then the Jaguar logo there in the center. And overall, it definitely looks really good from a front end perspective, but you wouldn't know it's a wagon from the front. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And notice that the wheel is all blacked out. And then we also do get this really nice red brake caliper that's a nice accent piece to all of the black that's happening there with the wheel. You've got another nice accent piece there on the side, and then notice the side skirts as well, looks really good overall. And then I like how the mirror is white at the top, black at the bottom, and then look at the sunroof there at the very top. Definitely creates some nice contrast. And here's our full side view where you can actually see that it is a wagon. Looks pretty cool. Now popping here into the rear, this is one of the big benefits of the Sportbrake is tons of storage space. We actually have the floor mats back here as well. Notice that you actually get a 12-volt right here, and that's to fold down the seat. You have another one on the other side, and you actually get lights back here. But yeah, overall, tons of storage space back here, way more than what you're gonna get in a normal sedan. And well, that's just what happens when you go for the wagon life. And also, it's automated, just like what you get in a lot of SUVs, which is pretty cool. Now here is the rest of the rear. So first off, notice that we've got the gigantic version of Jaguar's taillights, which I think look really good. You've got the XF logo, you've got the S, and then the all-wheel drive. And then notice we've got the two exhaust tips down at the bottom, parking sensors just above them. And well, there's another look at that rear hatch. Now let's go over the door panel here in the rear. So first off, notice that there is that little sunshade right there. They actually have some wood trim as well. Padding where you're gonna rest your arm. You've got the window control right there, a couple speakers for the sound system. And then here are the seats in the back. So notice really nice stitching, perforated leather down the center portion. And wow, tons of legroom. If you guys are wondering, I'm 6 foot. Headroom's good as well. Always gotta stick my tongue out. And then notice that you've got the vents right there. You've got the climate controls just down below. So I mean, back passengers live the life of luxury. Notice there's a dual zone climate here for the rear, which is pretty cool. Got the cup holder armrest situation, and let's head to the front. And here's the door panel at the front. So again, you've got all of the soft touch here. Notice it does come with memory seats. You've got the window controls again, the mirror adjustments. And then notice we've got the front seats here again, leather with the perforated leather down the center. You've got your adjustments there on the side of the seat, Jaguar plaque. You can see the pedal layout just down below. You got that for the lane departure and then for the rear hatch. And there's one more look before we pop in. Now I've got to show this because this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a car in my entire life. When you start up the car, the vents open up. That's so interesting. I think that's pretty cool, and it's on both sides, by the way. That is pretty interesting. So here's our steering wheel with the XF. Notice we've got really nice leather all around the steering wheel. Paddle shifters there on the back for that 8-speed automatic. You've got your cruise control, your heated steering wheel button, the S logo at the bottom, voice command controls for the center. You've got the turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and well, that's all for the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster. Notice that you've got the speed there in the center. You've got the RPMs over on the right side. And then there is a couple different menus you can actually scroll through here on the other side to give you different bits of information here on the XF itself. Pretty basic stuff. Most modern vehicles come with something like that. And then we also have our drive modes that we can scroll through, which will pop there. Now, so we've got our Eco, and then you've got that, which is kind of like your snow mode, basically, what you'll use this for, because obviously you probably won't take this off-road, but I mean, I guess you could. And then you've got your dynamic as well, and then you've got your normal mode. And notice with the dynamic, when you pop over into that mode, it kind of makes the gauge cluster look a little bit more aggressive. Now here is the center infotainment system. First off, we'll pop it into reverse. You can see you've got a really nice backup camera with trajectory lines. And then if you go from reverse into drive, notice it keeps the backup camera open for a second, then it'll go back to the infotainment system. And then as for the infotainment system, response time with this is actually pretty good. It's not as good as the newest unit with Jaguar, but it's still actually a really easy unit to use, and you've got nice shortcut buttons there at the bottom. And then notice that's for the camera, for example, so that's like our back view, and then if you press the camera button again, it'll change the view a little bit, which is definitely a nice function. And you got that for the seats. Has heated seats, doesn't have air conditioned seats, and well, that's all for that. Oh, down here we've got some more climate controls. This does have a dual zone climate, so I guess it has 4 different climate zones, which is pretty crazy. And then we've got the shifter for the 8-speed automatic. You've got the S mode, and then we've got wood trim around it. Drive mode select right here with the stop start, and then our stability control. And you've got your kind of like off-road cruise control, which is interesting because it's a hatchback and you'll probably never take it off-road, but it has it. And then notice that we've got a parking brake, a couple cup holders, which you can cover up with that trim. And then we've got the center console here, which is actually kind of small, interestingly enough. But anyways, glove box right there, and then you've got nice trim all over, and then also stitching on the dash. And notice the wood trim goes all around there in the center. That actually looks really good. And finishing things up top, notice that we've got a panoramic sunroof, and look at the headliner with this. Definitely gives it a nice feel. And well, yeah, that's all for the top. Well, now that we're done going over the interior on the XF, let's take it out, see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility here in the Sportbrake before we set off. There's visibility of the hood, both the mirrors that do have blind spot monitoring, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Setting off here in the Sportbrake, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel pretty cool because this is a very rare vehicle. I know the average person would just see this as a station wagon, but it's a very rare station wagon, so yeah, pretty cool. But setting off, I love how this thing drives. It's actually very smooth from a ride quality perspective, so that's definitely a huge plus. Really quiet as well. The seats are super comfortable, like they hold you in place, but they're also pretty firm, and so they're just really comfortable to sit in. Yeah, I like this car a lot. Wow, I might have to buy this thing, guys, maybe. Yeah, that V6, super peppy. The 8-speed automatic transmission, you guys know I'm a huge fan of this transmission. It's in so many vehicles nowadays for good reason. Really quick, really responsive. But that supercharged V6 definitely has some get up and go. I don't know how to explain it. Like, this car just feels really good. Like, it has this nice substantial feel that you usually only get with like an SUV, but it's so low to the ground, obviously because it's a car, that it just, I don't know, it feels really cool. I never thought I'd like a station wagon, but I love this thing so far. So we're in the S mode and the dynamic mode. Wow, that's actually pretty fast. That is actually pretty fast. That's surprising. I mean, you guys heard the power figure, so I expected it to be pretty quick, but I mean, it's quick. Yeah, and those downshifts with the paddles are pretty much instantaneous. I really like this thing. I really didn't think I was gonna like this that much. I reviewed this honestly because I was like, oh, it's a pretty rare car and you guys might like it. I really like it. This is cool. Yeah, and if you hold down the plus paddle, it'll go back into the automatic mode. Let's sum things up with a Sportbrake. So first off, exterior wise, looks like a Jaguar station wagon. I wouldn't necessarily call it beautiful per se. Like, it's a good looking station wagon, but like station wagons aren't necessarily beautiful, but like I think it looks cool and unique. Interior wise, really nice. I mean, there's leather on the dash, stitching, nice seats, nice touch points, like everything's good, and quality feels really nice. This car's got over 30,000 miles, and I mean, interior quality, it's obviously held up very well over the initial 30,000 miles, so definitely good with that. Driving experience perspective, it's crazy. It really does feel like an SUV mixed with a car. Like, it's got that big substantial SUV feel, but then again, it actually corners pretty flat, and it's just, I don't know, it's like you get the best of both. And it's pretty quick. That supercharged V6 does a pretty good job of delivering the power. So if you want a super rare vehicle, like super rare, something that's just very unique and actually fun to drive and super practical, tons of storage space, especially if you have a family, it'd be great for like road trips and everything, then you gotta check out this Sportbrake, sorry, rather. It's cool, it's really cool. I like this thing a lot. Let's get some things up for our video on this Jaguar XF Sportbrake. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Jaguar here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with the XF. Check out their inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.